So let's go back to here. So now we would like to make this look a little better. Just having this is not going to be good enough. We're going to do some HTML. So let's say I do H1. Let's do an H1 tag. You have a starting tag and an ending tag for those that may not know. To do list. So now we have a title above the to-do list. Now what we also would like to do, or what I think would be kind of nice to do, is let's make a table. And we will make a row. And then we will make a heading, which is going to be name. But we want to do the exact same thing in here, except we don't want this to be a heading. We want this to be an actual column that's inside of the row. And so let's copy this, paste it here. Let's get rid of the line break because we don't need it. Now we're putting it in a table. And then let's put the ending of the table. So now we should have the title of the table and the data in the table. So let's go back here. Let's hit refresh. So we got to-do list, name of the items in the list. So one of the problems is right now is it's hard to tell that there's a table there. So let's do border equals 1. Cell padding equals 2. And cell spacing equals 0. Now, there's a better way to do all this, but let's just keep going like we are. So you can actually see there is an item in the list. So what do we want to do next? We want to be able to add, edit, and delete. So let's come up here and let's say href. Href. We're going to create a file in a minute called add. And we're going to simply say add. We'll just say add. That's good enough. So I've got this one. So now what I want to do is I want to have on the left hand side edit, and if I copy that and paste on the right hand side of name, delete. So when we get done, we want to be able to add, edit, and delete. So then down here we want to copy this add. For now I'm just making it easy for you, not that this is the only way to do it. So we're going to say we want to add another TD, that's the edit, and then we want to be able to do the exact same thing but delete. Now what will happen is when you're selecting all this data up here, it gets the name and the ID of each column in the database. So that's where this ID here is coming from. It's coming from task.id. So if we save and we go back to our browser, we hit refresh. Yes, it's ugly. That's okay for now. We're just trying to get something that works. We're not going any extra steps. We'll worry about making it look better later. So if we look at add, edit, and delete. So let's just make a simple add, edit, and delete. So what we want to do over here is create a file called add. And then let's go back and look. We named it edit and delete. So we can say create edit. And then we can say create delete. Okay, so inside of add, this is going to be add. And then click click on this. This one's going to be delete. And then we go to edit, and this one's going to be edit. So now when we click on those links, we won't get very far, but we'll at least see that we are on the page that we think we should be on. So if I simply copy this page, and we're going to paste it in here, and let's go up here to the HTML, because now we're on the add page. I'm suggesting we leave that to the right and we say add, and we put a little bar like that to show that we're adding to this to-do list. Let's get rid of that. We don't need it to go get tasks because we're adding a task, so there is no task. So we want to do an input, type text, name equals name, ID equals name, value. This is add, so there shouldn't be any value. So if I go back here and I do this, save, and then I create a button, and submit button, type equals submit, name, value equals add. Now, it's been a while since I've done beginner buttons and things, so let's actually go see. There's more than one way, but let's go see if this works like I'm thinking. I hit refresh, so I have an add button. I have a place to put in get newspaper. Now, when we go to hit add, we need to be able to tell that it's in a form so that it can submit this information. So if we say form, action add, so that will post to the ad, and then we do the ending of a form. So now we are going to post this as a form variable. You can do, for certain times in certain applications, you can do get, but we're, as a beginner, we're doing post and only post, and we're going to go from here. When they click add, we don't want to go back to this file. I'm going to suggest we're going to go to insert, because now we've got the data, we're asking it to be inserted. So we're going to create a file over here called insert.cfm. So what we're going to do is that dump file we had before, we're going to say cf dump var equals, and then we're going to put pound, and we're going to say form. When you submit a form or a URL variable, you would change this to say URL, and it would dump out all of the data that's coming inside of that scope of that variable. So let's just try to see what happens when we do this. So when we come back here, we've got get newspaper. Let's actually refresh the page because I made changes. Paste get newspaper and click add. So here you can see we've got get newspaper. So all we have to do is be able to insert. So we do cf query name insert cf query. Now we say insert into tasks name, but it's not tasks, is it? I think the name of the table, let's see here, go up to the top of this. No, it's tasks. Okay, so let's go back to the insert tasks, insert name into tasks, and we're going to simply say, I like to have it lined up like this, and then we'll say values, and then we will say what we want to insert is form dot name. Now, little word to the more advanced programmer, yes, we should not be doing it just exactly this way. There's a thing called a CF query param. In case you don't get back RC later in this course, when I finish and I fix that, I want you to be aware you do not normally want to do it exactly this way. So we don't need this dump anymore because we already know what's coming in it, just name. So we want to insert into tasks form. So let me hit save. Now, once we're done with inserting, we really want to go back to CF location. We want to do a tag called CF location. We really want to go back to the index, which in the index, that's where we were listing all of the applications. All of the tasks that we've already put in the database, including this new one. So we want it to automatically relocate us to the index.cfm. There's such thing as a token. We don't need the token. We're just going to have it relocate, requery the database, get the list, and show it to us. So if I go back to the data, to the browser, click backwards, and I click add again, remember it should take us to the index if it works. And it stopped on insert. So let's go see insert into tasks. Oh, okay. When you're inserting a string variable into a string, you have to have quotes around this. So we're putting single quotes around it, and we're going to try it again. So if I go back and I hit add again, now it brings us to the list. So now we can add to our heart's content. Pick up some meds. And then we can